What is up, people of the internet? I guess this is my first official YouTube video since starting a YouTube channel. So welcome to my off-grid life. I just installed this thing and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about a couple things today on my first video. The first one is what it costs to live off-grid. And obviously that's going to depend on your standards, what you consider to be quality of life or what makes you happy. Some people don't need a lot and some people want a lot. I was Army. I've slept in the woods. I've been a lot of places. I can survive off-grid with practically nothing, but that doesn't mean that you're going to want that every day, especially if you have kids, especially if you're running a business, especially if you're getting old and you like being comfortable. So what it costs to live off-grid can vary drastically depending on how you want to live off-grid. Obviously here, as you can see, I've got, electricity. So this is something that I just purchased, super impressed with it. Also really disappointed in myself. I made a huge mistake when I purchased this unit. This is a Eg4 mini split, and it's made by a company that makes hybrid mini splits, and they take alternating current power, and they also have a PV input for solar panels, which assist it during the day. This is the same exact unit. It's got the same app. The app even shows the PV input. Super efficient. I was on solarsignature.com, which sells, solar equipment, looking at the hybrid mini split that takes solar panels. And the one I was looking at wasn't a DIY, meaning an HVAC tech would have to come, run a vac on the lines, blah, blah, blah. I needed one that had pre-charged lines. Well, there was a link to this one on the same page as the hybrid I was looking at. I got it, purchased it, came here, I installed it. I put the line set in, released the gas, spray foamed the wall, did the whole nine. I went outside, and lo and behold, this is not a hybrid mini split. This is just a regular 110, 120 volt run of the mill. I mean, yeah, the SEER rating's really great. Right now it's running and it's only taking, I want to say last time I checked 170 to 200 watts is what it's using right now. But definitely not a hybrid. So it puts me in a predicament because of the mistake I made failing to read and for thinking that a solar website would only sell. Listen, it's running right now. Listen to it. It's so quiet. And obviously I need to do some better stuff here. I wasn't expecting to leave it on AC to my breaker, so I just kind of put it, wired it real quick to see if it'll work. Unfortunately, I've been running it that way for 2 days now. So quiet. I love it. It's awesome. Not what I ordered at all. I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to that. I've got another one in a box over there that I'm about to install. And I'm going to tell you guys how awesome it is, how to put it together, where to get it. Anyway, this is my problem. So right now, yeah, we're doing pretty good. I don't know if we can see that. It's using 228 volts. It's like 75 degrees in the cabin, which is awesome. My batteries are at 26.4 volts. My problem is this. This is a 2400 watt inverter. It's a hybrid, so it's an inverter charger combo. These are 200 amp hour 12 volt batteries. So they're wired in a series, obviously, to make 24 volts. The problem is I've got about 5,000 watts stored here. This thing uses 50 to 80 just to run. When that mini split is on full power, it takes about 999 to a kilowatt. So with that being said, the batteries only have enough juice to run that for a few hours if there's not full sun. Luckily, it's super efficient. Right now it's not using the full amount that it could be using. It's only using 200 or 300 watts. But the plan was take this other solar tracker, install it here, and then I would have all of that running to my batteries to run the mini split alternating current. And then here I would have 6 new panels that were a PV array going to that hybrid, and it would share the power load, which would drastically decrease the amount it's drawing from my batteries and my inverter. My inverter is maxed, it can't take any more panels. So unfortunately, I cannot just build another tracker and add the panels to this system. It would fry it. So now I'm in a peculiar space where I have to build an entirely new solar system in order to, well, I'm not gonna like create Uranus or Jupiter or anything, but in order to power this and also power my cabin, I'm gonna need a second array, a second inverter, or I'm gonna have to upgrade everything to 48 volt, which I don't know if you guys have priced solar, but a 48 volt Life PO4 battery, lithium iron phosphate battery, starts at like $1,500 a pop, and I'm gonna need 3 or 4 of those. So, you know, you went from spending $1,500 on the AC and $1,500 on the tracker and the 6 panels, $3,000 out the window that you thought was going to be perfect, and now, hey, I've got to spend, you know, $6,000, $8,000 just to make something work. I talked to the website about it, manufacturer. They said there's not really any way I can change this. I can't swap the board. I can't convert it to be a hybrid. So I'm kind of SOL. And it's okay. I'm going to work with it. I'd rather have more power anyway, you know. I'd like to be able to have a full-time refrigerator going and the AC going and be able to use outlets and whatever else I need. I just wasn't planning on it right now. So I guess that kind of ties back into what I was going to say in the beginning. How much does it cost? I mean, again, $1,500 for that, $1,500 for that one, $1,500 for that one, right? So we're at $4,500 right there. $1,000 for that, $1,000 for that, right? So $6,500, $500 for that, $7,000. That THHN wire that's going between here and the breaker, $600 or $700, right? So just for me to be able to charge my DeWalt tools, have lights, run fans, have air conditioner, you know, we're at $8,000, $9,000 when it's said and done. And guess what? It can't work independently. It doesn't always just do its thing. It dies. I have to take a generator and go to the AC input on that because my battery bank isn't large enough. So just for power to run those things, before I ever had the AC, you know, I was up to $8,000 or so. So there's some costs you got to consider. And then there's other stuff. I'm going to go over a video one day, kind of talk about everything that I have here and what it costs. And then you can get an idea on, depending, again, what you want your quality of life to be, you can get an idea on what it actually costs to live off-grid. If you don't want a lot of fancy stuff, it might not cost you much. If you're really going to do it full-time and you live somewhere in a hot climate, like Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, you know, there's stuff you're going to have to consider, especially if you have kids or you don't like being miserable all day. But anyway, that's what today's video is about. I made a pretty big mistake, and I'm going to have to deal with the consequences. But for right now, it's working. The air conditioner's on, and it's nice and cool, and I can go sulk in my feelings at 75 degrees whenever it's set to be another record-breaking temperature day here. Alright guys, well, I think that's about it for today's video. I think the point of it really was just really pay attention when you're buying stuff online. Even if the website's called solar something, even if the air conditioner's called solar something, even if the company makes an identical unit that's a hybrid, there's a possibility they're selling you one that does not have a PV input. And if you live in the middle of 10,000 acres like me, or wherever it is you decide to call your home, once you release that gas into that line, or you permanently affix it to a structure, you're kind of stuck. I mean, I could rip all this back out, but then it's not warrantyable, right? And who's gonna buy it? I don't know. And then I gotta reinstall a whole new one and spend twice the money. So for now, this is what I got. I put this little piece of thermoply on top, hoping to keep the unit a little cooler today. I'm gonna build a sunshade for it. This whole thing's still under construction. There's lots of stuff around here that's not pretty, but I'm not gonna run around and and try to make everything look great, you know, just to make a YouTube channel and have people think that there's some magic world off grid that you'll move to and everything's going to be clean and perfect and finished. Because the truth is, if you're going to go somewhere remote enough that you have to build your own home, you're going to be doing it for a long time. You're not going to go out there as one person or two people and build an entire house and have the exterior finished and the interior finished. And that's not going to happen year one. That's probably not going to happen year two. There's lots of stuff you're going to have to look at every day that's ugly, and debris and construction material and screws. And unless you're just a millionaire and you helicopter people in to build your whole house, there's going to be a while that everything's not so pretty. And I'm not afraid to film it. Pretty excited about this. Got 3 banana trees in there, surrounded by some pineapples, some lemongrass. Those bananas just went in 2 days ago. They were really sad, so we're hoping they make it. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I bought an AC. It was the wrong one. It costs a lot of money. So attention to detail, due diligence, especially if you're in a situation where you're pretty far out. You don't have the ability to just, you know, go into town or swap stuff, or you don't have the money to be buying 2 or 3 of something. Be very careful about what you're doing. I had no idea that I could buy a unit that wasn't solar from the solar website, but I found out. All right, guys, until next time, take it easy.